had a mother by the name of Kelly. She had one son. She was fleeing a relationship that was filled with domestic violence and not really knowing what to do because she had basically been taken care of. The husband was the breadwinner, and so, when you're in a household, when that person's the breadwinner, you find it difficult not knowing what's next, and now you have a child. And I can think back and remember, and these were my early years in my career, her coming to our family shelter program that's located here on 10th Street and saying that she needed help. And so when we were asking her, Divine, what does help mean? Are you ready to commit? Are you ready to go to school? What do you see your life? And she's like, whatever you think, I should do. And so, initially it was like really getting her to understand that it's not about what we think she should do, but really where do you want to see your life? Where do you want to see your child? How do you want to, change for the better? And this is a person who was from the San Pedro area. She was born and raised here. Her family still lived here. They own a home here in San Pedro, but she had nowhere to turn. And so she eventually moved into our shelter. She stayed for 90 days, and then she moved on to our transitional housing program. And that transitional housing is focused on education. And so she stayed there for 18 months. And in that time, she went to the PACE program at LA Harbor College, completed that program, and then she moved on to Cal State Long Beach and eventually received a degree in education, and then came back to San Pedro, and she taught at Leland Avenue School. And so that's one story of someone who, again, raised by a great family here in San Pedro, had a home, moved on, got married, had a kid, and that relationship didn't work out in full circle. She returned to San Pedro, and we were able to help her, and then she gives back. And so it's always great and her son, of course, is an adult at this particular time, but she still lives here in San Pedro, and she owns her own home. We have another client. We had a relationship with Angels Gate, which everyone's familiar with. And the relationship was that they would come to the shelter and they would do art classes with the children. And so this one project they were doing, it was, what we thought to be simple. It was, draw what's most important to you. And so, how kids are, ages, 7 to 10, somebody drew some pizza, another person was like, here's a hamburger, here's an outdoor. And then one of the kids drew a picture of the shelter. And he basically said, this is the most important. It provided a roof for my mom and my siblings. We had nowhere to go, and this is the most important. So it's like stories like that that are really emotional that, kids don't ask to be in a homeless situation. And when you think about giving them the opportunity for art lessons, and that art lesson turns into what's most important, and then you're drawing a picture of the shelter, it reminds me of why I chose to work for Harper Interfaith.